then the first people into the building were the Proud Boys. You can watch it. It's all on tape. You motherfucking retards videotape the entire thing. It's in 4K HD, 60 frames per second, live streamed on YouTube. They were covering it on Infowars saying patriots are coming in. How did they do it? They stole a riot shield and they bashed in the window. You can watch it on video. Really? How much do you want to bet? You want to bet $5,000 right now? The first guy into the Capitol was let in by a police officer. You want to bet $5,000 on that right now? That the first person in wasn't charged with a crime, isn't on video bashing the window in with a riot shield that he stole from a cop? Exactly. That's why, because you don't have any money left to lose. Okay? No, it's bullshit. The first people that breached the Capitol grounds were the Proud Boys. It's all on video. The first people into the Capitol building were the Proud Boys. It's all on video.
My politics have cost me
anti-American and
everything.
treasonous. You hate this country.
My politics have cost me everything, and I'm still up here fighting the good fight because I actually love this country, unlike this guy who's lost nothing. He's lost nothing except his integrity. That's all he's left is his integrity. And I'd like to, I don't know if you want to do more questions or if you want to do final comments. But everybody, again, he sits here, we could fact check this guy all day long. The doors have magnetometers that have to be released by the Capitol Police. You can sit there and watch them release the doors, and then the cops open them and usher them through. He keeps saying it's on video, it's on video. Yes, you're right. That's literally on video. I've been in the courtrooms. I've shown it on video. You haven't because you're a good government stooge, and you'll probably be protected by the corrupt Justice Department.
None of that is true. Go look it up. Look up first breach into the Capitol. Go look it up. Go see who got indicted for it. Go see who got convicted for it. It wasn't police officers letting people into the building.
We have one more question.
This is for Shroyer. You mentioned that the immigration laws were changed under Biden to make it easier to seek asylum, and then you mentioned something about the CBP-1 app. As far as I'm aware, that app didn't change any immigration laws, but it made it so that appointments must be made for the app rather than further congesting the border, making it harder for the border workers to do their job. In fact, they're being sued by Amnesty International for allegedly making it harder for people to seek asylum. So my question is, what laws do you believe were changed, and what do you believe the app is doing to make it easier?
So there's basically no screening when it comes to the asylum process now. Anybody can come in and apply to be an asylum seeker. They can get on this app, file the asylum seeking process. They don't check your ID, they don't do a background check. You just fill out the form and you're in as an asylum seeker. And then you can fly into the country. You can get a flight as well. But I understand, okay, let's say I can't convince you of that. Okay, let's get the political wonk out of the way and let's just talk realistically here. 3 straight years, record number of border crossers. I won't even put a term on them. I won't say illegal, I won't say asylum, I won't say anything. 3 straight years of record number border crossings. That's just a fact. And most of these people come here, if not all, well, probably not all because a lot of them just escape into the country. Most of these people come here and they get free stuff immediately. You're paying for it. You're paying for their travel.
Actually done by Biden to make that easier. Like what changed?
I just told you, they changed the policy. They're not stopping people. Anybody can get in. Anybody can get in. No, it wasn't always the case. You used to have to seek asylum in the country next to you, or you used to have to go through a background check before you could even get into the court systems and come into this country. They would hold you into a detention center or a prison before you could come into this country. Now they just let you in. That's the big difference.
Who changed that?
Joe Biden, the Biden-Harris administration. That's why illegal immigration has gone up every single year. There's been a record number of illegal border crossers. That is a fact. And they all, and I wonder if they would even come here if they weren't getting the free stuff. I wonder if they weren't getting the free lodging, the free travel, the free food, everything else, the free welfare. I wonder if they would even come here at all. I think if you cut out the welfare state, you cut out the welfare state and the open border, I doubt they even come here at all. And no other country, no other sane country on earth would have an open border and a welfare state, by the way.
Given time got away from me, we have to jump right into the closing statements. Sorry that we didn't get to the last 2 questions. We are going to start it off with Stephen's 3-minute closing. Thank you very much. Stephen, the floor is all yours.
I think conservatives are delusional. I think they hate this country. I think that they are more aligned with the interests of Donald Trump than they are with anything having to do with the concept of the United States of America. I think it's incredibly sad because I think as much as I used to disagree with conservatives, at least they stood on principle for the United States. I think that today, if another 9/11 happened, I think that conservative MAGA people would be more interested in blaming Kamala Harris than uniting around whoever our common enemy was. And I think that's why you have people like Donald Trump on stage begging and pleading for Russia to release 10,000 emails, or constantly giving praise to foreign dictators, to people like Orban, or saying that he wants his citizens to stand at attention like they do with Kim in North Korea, and why he has so many good things to say for all these authoritarian leaders like Putin, but he can't find any support from other democratic leaders around the world. I think it says something about him. I think it says something about the type of people that would support that. I think it says something about him, and if you have good parents, they told you this, if you can't look at a person, look at who their friends are, or look at who they work with. The idea that his vice president is not running with him again, that should send huge signals to your brain of what's going on here. Where is Mike Pence? Why does Mike Pence say, in contrast to you, that Donald Trump told him to unilaterally choose who the election winner would be? That's Pence's accounting of things, right? Why is it that so many of his ex-cabinet members, over 40 of his ex-cabinet members, won't endorse him for president? Why do you get four-star generals, people like Mark Milley, saying things like Donald Trump would be a fascist? Why do you have Donald Trump himself saying, I would suspend or terminate parts of the Constitution and be a dictator on day one to do the things that I need to do? Why would you have Donald Trump try to weaponize his DOJ to go after his political opponents? Why would he call into Fox and Friends and say, I think the DOJ needs to start indicting and arresting people, and then accuse Biden of doing it despite the fact that you have absolutely no evidence of it happening, except for maybe pointing to New York State, which isn't even the federal government. Conservatives are just living in an entirely delusional, disconnected from reality world. I hope that after this election, there's a huge wake-up call. I guess we'll see what happens. I wish that people could look at this country and see that we genuinely do have problems that aren't always caused by the Jews or illegal immigrants. I wish that we could come together and work on some problems rather than fabricate out of whole cloth these issues that aren't even real issues or don't even exist. I wish that when issues that really were presented against this country, like illegal immigration, were put in front of Congress to solve, that the Republicans would be behind it, along with the Democrats. And I think that when you look at the record of leadership, when you compare the Biden administration, of which Harris is a vice president, you saw all of the bipartisan legislation that they got passed, and you compare it to Trump's administration, that was a failure in every single conceivable way, whether it was his inability to actually end conflict in the Middle East, he didn't, whether it was ability to actually solve problems with legislation, he didn't, or whether it was his ability to lead a coherent country that was falling apart under BLM riots and COVID lockdowns and all sorts of other things, COVID, of which he didn't even acknowledge was real until it was already, tens or hundreds of thousands of cases in this country. And you can see how much he undermined it, how much that bothered him, because he couldn't even get credit for the vaccine that he so desperately wanted his audience to worship him for. I hope that after this election season, I hope we can come together a little bit better and be better Americans and be on the same team again.
Time. Owen, you have 3 minutes.
Okay. He says conservatives hate this country, yet look at my story, look at Donald Trump's story. I came here tonight, I took the time to prepare myself so I don't look like a slob, and I put my American flag lapel pin on because I care about this country. I came here despite, yes, lawyers watching me all the time trying to sue me like ambulance chasers, the federal government watching me all the time because they want to throw me in prison, and I continue to come out here because I love this country. Don't tell me I hate this country. I love this country. This guy comes presented tonight looking like a slob with a Finding Nemo necklace on, okay? That's how serious he is. And by the way, how about Donald Trump? He's been shot at. He's had multiple assassination attempts. They go after his family. They bring him through the courts as well. And he's still fighting for this country. Let's not act like it's conservatives that don't love this country. It's flag-waving conservatives that sang the national anthem on January 6th. They sang the national anthem when Donald Trump went back to Butler, Pennsylvania, where they shot at him. You won't even hear a Democrat sing a national anthem. They kneel for the national anthem. They hate this country. Pretty much everything a Democrat says is projection. And by the way, on the vaccine thing, I disagree with Trump on the vaccine, but it's funny, you notice when Trump was president with the vaccine, Kamala Harris and everybody said, don't take the vaccine, it's the worst. As soon as Biden got in, they all loved the vaccine. Did you take the vaccine? I sure hope not. By the way, ask yourself this. How much money is spent on elections? Billions of dollars. Why? Why is so much money spent on an election? Because power. That's why. Power. So ask yourself in follow-up, are elections ever stolen? Is there ever any voter fraud? Can you really tell yourself no to these questions? Or are you going to sit here and believe everything the government tells you and everything the establishment media tells you. And you notice that's where he goes with everything. He keeps citing people that work for the government their whole lives. He keeps citing mainstream media talking points. So you can choose to live your life trusting the mainstream media, but guess what? You're going to be the one that's deceived. You're going to be deceived about war in the Middle East, weapons of mass destruction, Russian collusion, the vaccine is safe and effective. You name it. They deceive you on everything, and he comes up here and parrots their talking points and acts like he's put in an effort tonight. And just for clarification, Pence was not asked to decide who the winner was. He was asked to delay the certification. So let's just, again, get that straight. But in closing, I would say this. You have two choices. It's very simple. You can either be pro-establishment, pro-big government, pro-mainstream media telling you what to do, how to live, pro-government telling you what to do, how to live. You can accept that our government and our media has been corrupt for decades. Probably everyone in this room's entire life, our government has been corrupt. This is not a message for the right. This is not a message for the left. This is a message for Americans. We have a corrupt government. We have a corrupt media. That's what we're addressing. That's what we want to overthrow. Those are the people trying to stop Donald Trump. That's why I support Donald Trump, and I hope this reformation with a populist anti-establishment movement in the Republican Party is here to stay.
Thank you very much to both of our speakers. Thanks so much for coming out tonight, folks. It's been a true pleasure. Drive safe. If you're watching online, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And with that, I'm going to hand it over to Sean. Thanks very much, Sean.
Thank you, James. Let's give a big round of applause for James, Owen, and Destiny, and everybody else here. Thank you. I just want to give the last few thank yous before we go out tonight. I want to thank everybody who volunteered to help out with this event. I want to thank all the friends who came out all this way to help us out. We had a bunch of people travel across the country to come here. I'd like to thank everybody that bought tickets, helped support this event, to help us fund more events like this and to make this possible. It's not possible without people like you giving us the resources we need to make these things happen. And I'd like to thank our wonderful lawyer, John Gross, who is helping us sue this university. And lastly, I would like to plug Owen and Destiny so you can follow them and keep up with them for more content if you want to keep up with what they're saying. Owen is at Owen Shroyer 1776 on X, and Destiny is at the Omni Liberal on X. So if you want to follow their stuff, go there. And if you want to follow us, start a chapter, or get tickets for our next event, we have one more coming up at Penn State before the election. It's going to be really exciting. I can't say who it is yet, but we will probably announce it tomorrow, so if you want to come out for that. If you like something like this, you're going to love that event, let me tell you. So go to uncensoredamerica.us, where we have everything on there. We're looking for new members, new execs for our chapter here, so if you want to get involved, you can talk to us in the back there. Brendan would be happy to talk to you. And if you have meet and greet tickets, the backstage tickets, and the royalty tickets, for all you guys, you get to do the meet and greet. We're going to have everybody leave the building and then come back in if you have those tickets, and then our speakers will come back in to do the meet and greet. For the dinner, I'll give you guys a location. If you have a royalty ticket, just come up to me, and I'll tell you the location of the dinner. And lastly, if you didn't get your shirt yet, if you have a backstage or a royalty ticket and still need your shirt, just talk to me in the back, and I will get that for you guys too. Thank you so much for everybody for coming out, and I hope you guys have a great day, and happy election season coming up. It's going to be really exciting, but have fun. Thank you.